Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. So I guess I've made it to week 2, which is pretty good. So I have been practicing my song as I said I would. And so I was looking back on my first video and I realized that I was a little boring in that I didn't really say anything of interest in these intros. So if I'm going to keep these intros at the beginning of each of my videos, I better say something interesting. So I was thinking back, and what would I say to introduce my Rent song, which was my last week. So if I would have been more interesting in my beginning of my video, I would have talked possibly about the fact that Rent is coming back to off-Broadway in a recent revival, which is very strange because it just closed a few years ago, the Broadway run of it. So that's kind of interesting, and I got to thinking, I wonder, people are wondering who they're going to cast, if they're going to bring back stars, celebrities, or original cast members. And so that got me thinking about Anthony Rapp, who's the song I sang in the last video, Halloween. He's done the show from the original inception in the workshop off Broadway and then moved to Broadway. And he sort of made it his Carol Channing and Hello Dolly. And if you don't understand what that means, Carol Channing has sort of been synonymous with reviving Hello Dolly year after year and doing all the tours. So it's sort of become her mode of income. And so Anthony Rapp seemed to be following on board with that. He's done, I think, 3 subsequent productions of Rent, plus the movie version. And so it'd be interesting to see if he's the one who's actually picked to come back and revive the role. Anyway, on to this week. I've just about a month ago, I came back from seeing the national tour of Spring Awakening, which was so good. And we actually got stage seats for it, so the energy was fantastic. You could really feel all the actors play with you, and it was a little bit of an even more exciting experience because we didn't even know, but it was the Sunday matinee, and that was actually the final show of the entire tour. So at the end, it got very emotional. So I was really inspired by all that energy. And a funny story is in the show, when you sit on stage, there's audience members who are planted from the swings of the show. Swings are people who don't go on regularly, but if someone is sick, then they jump into a bunch of roles that they've understudied. And so the swings come in as audience members, and they're dressed in regular clothes. And then about a third into the show, they start singing. And so I wasn't aware. I just figured that she was part of the audience. And all of a sudden, she started singing along. And I went to go tell her, like, "Oh, I don't think you're supposed to sing here." And then all of a sudden, she pulled the microphone out of her vest pocket, and I was very surprised, even though I'd already read blogs about how the audience works. So I already knew this. And on top of that, so they really had me fooled. Anyway, that was a really fun experience. So in homage to that, I've decided to take a song from the show and work on it this week, and it's called Left Behind from Spring Awakening. Enjoy! You fold his hands and smooth his tie, you gently lift his chin. Were you really so blind and unkind to him? Can't help the itch to touch, to kiss, to hold him once again. Not to close his eyes, never open them. A shadow past, yearning, yearning for the fool it called a home. All things he never did are left behind. All the things his mama wished he bear in mind, and all his dad had hoped he'd know. Oh, the talks you never had, the Saturdays you never spent, all the grown-up places you never went, and all of the crying you just wouldn't understand. You just let him cry, make a man out of him. A shadow past, yearning, yearning for the fool it called a home. All things he ever wished are left behind. All the things his mama did to make him mind, and how his dad had hoped he'd grow. All things he ever lived are left behind. All the fears that ever flickered through his mind, all the sadness that he'd come to own. A shadow past, yearning, yearning for the fool it called a home. Whistles through the ghost still left behind. Whistles through the ghost still